in the ultimate sport, the sport of fighting, in the ultimate promotion,
Mm-hmm.
where people go into an octagon to face each other, they have to be in top shape. And
Mm-hmm.
again, listen, there is no safety help over the top. if if something gets thrown overhead, you don't get the benefit of a scheme when you're
Mm-hmm.
in fight. It's you.
Giga, 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 giga. Giga chat, translator interview.
A lot can change in a couple of months, right? We're on a ride for a couple of
Yes.
funky months.
I love the second half of the year, like when it comes to UFC scheduling. Like, yeah, it's always great, but the second half of the year, ooh, always amazing cards. With that being said, to what you're just saying, like Michael Bisping, Charles Oliveira, and most recently, I guess you can say, Glover Teixeira's, like all of them snatching the title with all of their particular stories, which are of course all different, but kind of similar in the sense that, career resurgence.
Yeah.
A lot of people, including myself, right? I counted out Charles. I absolutely did not think Charles was going to get back to a belt. I never thought that Bisping was ever going to get to a belt, frankly. And yeah, when Glover Teixeira was losing to, like, say, Corey Anderson, I was like, he had his shot, he lost to John Jones. It's probably not going to happen. But all of them have come back and proven, me and millions of other people wrong. And I think that is why MMA is as beautiful as a sport as it is, because I've been watching for 15 years. I have not missed an event in 3 years, and I still get mind blown by this sport every couple of weeks, honestly.
I think it answers your own question. It's like, oh, does it ever get old? It doesn't. It doesn't. First of all, there's always a moment that you have to translate something different, that you're able to convey a funny story or an emotional moment. Um, it might be a busy day with a bunch of people that need translation, or it might be some sort of emergency situation. So you're always
Yeah.
there, um, making yourself reliable. We meet new people all the time, but the one thing that happens is just this: the fact that there's so much novelty. What I can tell you is, working together with these people, the UFC makes you feel old and unfit. Because I can't. Like, some people are like, even I don't know, even like Patty is like, listen,
Yeah.
I can't eat like that. I can't get like that. The funny thing is, I know you're younger, I know you're an athlete, but I could never do like that. I can't even remember when I was able to do like that. I know they
Yeah.
photoshopped some of the pictures, but it's hilarious.
Yeah. He had a quote that came out today. He was talking. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry for all of the soccer/football fans that I'm gonna upset right now. But he was talking to a professional footballer, and he
Okay.
said that I got to over 205 pounds in between fights, and he fights at 145. And if that's 60 pounds.
I'm sorry. How?
Yeah,
You lost.
how?
You lost like a patty. Like you lost a patty. You were two patties. You were one. It is just it's. Plus, I like the accent, the whole kind of hope. I love the way he says it. It's hilarious.
Mhm.
I love it. The funny thing is, I was watching his. They actually put the weight cutting on his
Mm.
on his own YouTube platform,
Gotcha.
and I'm watching it, and I'm just having coffee in a coffee shop here in Las Vegas. I'm like, all right, hey, okay, some patty content. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm
Hell yeah.
eating food. I'm not gonna feel bad. All right, so I'm already having. All right, so I'm having a cup of coffee, eating some stuff, and I'm like, it's kind of loud in the place. People start to, and the earphones just don't do it justice. Like, I'm trying to understand what the heck's going on, and people get. I mean, there's a lot of people ordering stuff. The music got loud for a second,
Mm.
and I had to put. Sometimes you're on YouTube, you put the closed captions on, and
Yeah.
just to get. I'm listen again. When you speak another language, you're used to seeing.
Oh.
You at one point in your life, you watch so much stuff with content that's translated that with subtitles. To
Mm.
me, they're second nature. I watch stuff with closed captions, and just because you're like, if you're doing something, we're
Oh
in an
yeah.
age of, right? I mean, we lose our concentration, lose focus. 2 seconds. Like we got if you have this multi-audio-visual self going, like just having something written, at one point you just don't miss it.
Yeah,
And
it's
to us,
really true.
it doesn't bother us because we've seen it for another language. So I do this all the time. So I put it there. Have you seen the atrocity? Because it's not no one's fault. It's just that Paddy beats any Google algorithm. Like he's speaking, and there's an entire sentence that he talks, and like the entire like the whole thing on the screen does not mean nothing matches.
Yeah.
Just want this, just on away in, lad. Just on away in, lad. Just on away in, lad. Lad, that's what happens when you do it professionally and do it with Paul Reed. Do it with Paul Reed. Do it with Paul Reed. I've done a couple of pound in the bath, as you're gonna find out. As you're gonna find out. As you're gonna find out.
Easiest week club for us to date. Easiest week club for us to date. Easiest week club for us to date.
Next up in the lightweight division, Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett.
Getting these in me, the electrolytes, the electrolytes, the electrolytes.
Look, I'm neben som Nutella, neben som Nutella, neben som Nutella.
It's like, the algorithm basically, like, if we ever have like supercomputers or going kind of 2000, like that Google guy said that the system became sentient or something. If the Decepticons ever come down, we're under attack. That's our way right there. They're not gonna decipher that.
Yeah.
That's like Arrival in reverse when the alien.
I was going to say Arrival. Yes.
That was it.
Yes.
That was Arrival in reverse. Like it's like, yep, let's do Arrival 2.
Oh my.
World Strikes Back. Like Paddy comes in. He's nothing matched. I was like, all right, I need to stop this. I watched it later. I was like, oh wow. Like,
So this is what he was saying.
yeah, like of course, but it's such a fun, and plus these personalities. Like you got these guys. I mean, he's such a fun guy. These cards in London. Also, just happy for John Bits gets to do the cards over there. He's such a great professional too.
Yeah. John Gooden.
Yeah,
Oh, he's so good.
I got to meet him in Singapore. Just wanted to say hi to him, and just thought that I felt the joy. Obviously, never met him before, and that was my opportunity to do so, and just. It was so cool that he just like triathlon events. Like
really? Wow.
He does different types of broadcasts.
He's a beast.
And you see how the internet can be a tough place sometimes. John actually posted after Singapore. He comes back from the fight, from being there, and he posts a picture of the place that he used to live. Many of us, believe me. I mean, all of us have our struggles. And to each their own. I've been in situations in which I felt, lonely in small places, small quarter places. That's what you got. That's what you need to do. People are much worse position than I am, and everyone is. A lot of people in this world, especially a lot of fighters, identify themselves with that, which is that experience of being in this small place one day and going from that to like your own house, your own mansion, your own, just having, talk about so many sports figures going and giving a house to their moms or dads.
Right.
And John just posted a picture where he was, and that he was like, I don't know, flying. I'm not sure if it was first class or like, he was in a good place in the aircraft, right?
Nice. Yeah.
Oh my God. People are like, oh, that's a weird flex or something, like obviously polarized the internet. Like half the people are like, man, the guy's just saying that everyone can do this. This is inspirational stories. Like, let him be. I'm just so happy for the guy. I just met him again, smile on his face. You could see how cool it was. And when the first card came back to London in 3 years, and I'm gonna have another one.
Yeah.
And it's such a cool atmosphere too, right? Because we're talking about football fans. Like they're rowdy.
Yeah.
I mean, then they got to see Aspinall, they got to see Paddy,
Yeah.
Mod, like everybody's fighting. So
Mhm.
it's gonna be some. It's gonna be a cool card.
Right. Did
And
you work that previous London card?
no,
I gotcha.
I was not. No, I wasn't involved with you guys. So again, started in it's gonna be my 2-year anniversary. So I'll be there for Contender. That's just a 2-week break, and
Yeah.
then Contender. I know I'm gonna be there. First episodes is gonna be a lot of Latin American fighters fighting, and then I should be in many of the cards coming up. There's a lot of cool stuff coming up. I mean, it's gonna be Dallas, and then San Diego's gonna be
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Salt Lake City. The one in Long Island is gonna be amazing. To this day, it's gonna be insane. I mean, to speaking to like I mean, how good was obviously Volkanovski this place,
Yeah. Oh my gosh, unstoppable.
but it was. I remember Ortega fighting him and the reaction that it got. How many times did he attempt to guillotine? 3, 4?
Yeah, something like that.
And it was insane because it looked like it was gonna get it.
Yeah.
Like from there, it was gonna get it. It was the same type of reaction. I compared it to someone when Juliana got Amanda.
Yeah.
Like that feeling when it builds up. Some of them are quick. Some others are,
Right. Yeah.
But like people were, you feel the vibe. Like all of a sudden, people are like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Cormier's like, "Oh my god! He's got it! You see it, and it's just so insane that it didn't happen. So some good cards coming up, and I mean, we don't know other fights that are happening, right? Some stuff should be announced soon.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my gosh. I mean, even this weekend's card is so good. I was telling my stream, like, I mean, it's still like a very, it's a super duper strong like fight night card, but you know, if you even had like I hate to use the term like mediocre headliner, like it really could have been a pay-per-view. You have like the strength of Yair versus Brian, and then you have like a lot of other strong top to bottom people on this weekend's card. Are you allowed to say which, if you have a favorite fight that you've seen live from this point while working with the UFC?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not. I'm not playing favorites for something that I saw that I got to witness. I
Sure.
just think that there was the Yuri Glover fight was very special. It was something very. I mean, as said, it was for but the class on both of the guys.
Oh yeah.
The teams, it's just another level. It was an amazing fight. All the Charles fights have been something. That again, I go back to the entire card. I mean, Austin had it, but Singapore even like Joanna and Zhang League, like the stuff that they do together is it's like some matches are made in heaven, and some others will give you hell, right? That's something. I mean, those two were meant to beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
And I do have to say that there are others that are low-key favorites because of what I saw, the level, what it was, because I saw people that have been at this for quite some time jumping off their seats.
Yeah.
And again, recency bias here, with Sarukian and Gamrot fight was a fair. I think that there's the space for the technical piece. So what sometimes you watch one fighter doing some things and you're like, wow, this is insane. Like you're saying, like someone at his craft of like Volkanovski just now. I was there for Chandler Ferguson. So
oh my gosh.
Something. But there were some barn burnings. I mean, again the fact that 12 weeks, right? So I cannot forget these 12 and just thinking of all these things that I've done, but throughout these moments I've seen some very good things happen. I love to see this. I mean, or even the early prelims, sometimes they just they look at you, they like surprise you. You're like, oh my god, these two are going at it.
Mm-hmm.
And there is something special about when they know the bottom of their hearts that it's 1-1,
Yeah.
and they know all they got is about 2 minutes. And at the end of those fights, the stuff that goes on, and when like who wants it more, kind of,
Yeah.
um, it's just there's some stuff that I saw, and interesting because the distance, and because there wasn't much need for that translation, but we've had some stuff going on in New York, like at Madison Square Garden, that has
Hmm.
been insane, right?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
We had some great fights there,
Yeah.
and I wasn't there for it just because.
Right. Before
Um,
your time.
yeah, no, it's actually because there was a need for it. Like there
Oh, I
was
see. Interesting.
time over there. Yeah, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, this weekend there's going to be Roger Gurgel who's going to be there for the demos, and I mean, probably doing corner for Burns' brother.
Oh,
For
wow.
the yeah.
Yeah.
No need to translate there, but again, there are other people that work with us, and it, it because of one reason or another. Um, you watch the fights and like, oh, I wish I was in that one too.
Yeah.
I mean, to see, obviously, wasn't it amazing to see like let's say, um, Usman Masvidal.
Mm-hmm.
I probably one of the most movie-like punches I've ever seen.
Yeah. Totally.
One hand brings it down, the other one just splashes water all
Yeah.
over it.
Exactly.
It looked like someone said, "Lights, camera, action."
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Glover
Like that
when
scene in Creed.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it's like this is like okay, yeah, they put it in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Glover winning.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can only imagine the vibe when Bisping beat Anderson Silva.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even can you imagine what it was like, and to find out he did it in one eye.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I know. It's just insane, and I mean some of the moments, just because of the fact that it really like shocked to this day,
Mm-hmm.
because I think she was a minus 900 favorite. Juliana beating Amanda.
Yeah. Totally.
It was the shock on everybody's face
Mm-hmm.
was insane.
Yeah.
And then Charles came right after that.
Yeah.
So think about the fact that was in and of itself like a night on its own. That's a main event of if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
Like you look into people, and you see again, look at the people that have been doing this for years.
Mm-hmm.
They're shocked.
Mm-hmm.
We're shocked.
Yeah.
And it's insane how it can happen. But I guess that to this day, just because of the setting, the situation, because again, it was just a global fighting to its core, different styles. I'm going to say it was Glover Yuri.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it was insane. It was insane.
Yeah, it really is. I think that fight will truly stand the test of time, and the fact that Yuri just posted a video calling out Glover for an immediate rematch.
Yeah. I mean, and it was cool because he actually it was and it was cool because he actually it was at the same time respectful.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And at the same time, it's like I didn't give my best.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It's like it's insane. And then again, you get the hero's welcome. Did you see when he went back?
Oh my god. Yeah. That's.
It's so cool. It's
Mhm.
like it's so cool. It just reminded me of the Eagles parade when they were in Super Bowl. It's like yeah. But nobody jumping on poles.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I didn't realize there were that many people that actually lived in the Czech Republic. I was not prepared to see that many people like turn out for it. And I knew he was gonna like we've seen. Jan Blachowicz, which is like another great example of that hero's welcome. But man, there were so many people lining the streets for Yuri. And yeah, to what you're saying, he was like, I will show you who the real champion is. It's like, oh,
Yes.
so cold.
I will show you why I'm the champion.
You got that, and it's so cool because they understand that There's something to it.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
entertaining. I remember. I mean, we need to go back into my character arc here. I just went. I mean, my my idols growing up was Randall Cunningham, and then if you think about that, I mean, the guys went to UNLV, becomes Eagles quarterback, ends
Mm.
up playing like even playing like Cowboys. Went through a lot in his life. He lives here in Las Vegas.
Whoa.
He's actually a pastor here. He as a chapel for the Raiders. And I still remember one thing that he said, because I love American intros to shows. Like I was obsessed. I love how they put on a show for sports, like the
Oh,
intro,
okay. Interesting.
the music, and like that, that stuff that gets you pumped, and
Sure.
you hear like some Ron Perlman, some Michael Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, to keep you. I mean, they put Bruce Bush's voice.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
yeah.
before on the you see them there, but like this when they in the UFC this week, you're like, oh my god, it's so cool. Like his voiceover is just so cool. So I remember it was like an interview. They put it right before Monday Night Football a long time ago. Far away. And he says, "We're entertainers. We're entertainers. We're here to entertain. And we're not just athletes." And they are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, their personalities, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Physio can ask for whatever rough. I'm the best rough in sport.
Yeah, I'll beat him in tennis.
I don't care. Bring your racket.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so funny. And then I just think that it's so cool that they have these personas.
Yeah.
Because again, they've earned it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the hard work that they go through. Again, another thing, to hear the coaching, like because of the silence.
Yeah, totally.
I got to grow into the thing.
Right.
Hearing every single piece of coaching. And when you get the language, it's a language that I understand and get, I'm hearing conflicting information. It's like almost like, they don't, some of the teams don't speak English at all, not even anyone to actually spy on it or to, eavesdrop. So they're both yelling.
Interesting.
The Americans have always been, because of the fact that they've had to deal with other people speaking English here all the time.
Right.
People say in numbers, right? I mean, everything's coded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
And I remember playing soccer in college because we were just playing soccer for nothing. And
Mm-hmm.
that some of the Americans were like, you're like, oh no, we're gonna do it this, that. I was like, we're just playing soccer.
Yeah.
And it's insane because then the Brazilians just come in and they say it because it's in Portuguese. So they're like, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and they're yelling, and I'm like, yeah, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, it's like there's no code. They don't say, yeah, give me some more 3-2 now. Give me some more 3-2. Give me some green. Give me some, they're not. No, there's no coding. No
Yeah.
code. Like they're just yelling at something.
That is so fascinating. A tale of two corners, as John Anik likes to say. Another one of his Anikisms. So I have two questions for you, and I think the first one that after hearing just all of this and learning more about your background, what you do, not just for the UFC, but obviously in your regular day-to-day life, excuse the cringy cliche word here, but do you mind if I ask you what is your why? Because you already have a well-established career. You had a well-established career prior to the UFC, and then you take on this role that is literally just like another job. Like, it's literally another full-time job. What is your why? Like, why are you doing this? Is it for? Yeah, I won't even assume. Like, do you? Yeah.
I appreciate even the questions. I like it as open-ended as it could be.
Sure.
Fun is good. Having fun is a great thing. When you feel welcome into something, it just draws you in, and you want to come back, and you want to go back, and whenever you see novelty, and that is one of the things that drew me into football for all my life as well, because every week was just something different. There's so many facets of the game. And that's why I live in tourist cities. My second home is always Orlando, and then it end up in Vegas. So I call Vegas Orlando West, and I call Orlando Vegas East. There's so many. You can see it. You can put a tail of the tape UFC style between both cities, and you're gonna see a lot of similarity.
Virtually identical.
Even with like the Jacksonville and the San Diego, the LA with with the Miami, the Phoenix with the Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
the a little bit of Tampa and the polar opposite of Tampa, which is Salt Lake City. It's insane. There's so many elements that are insane. Even when the pandemic happened, they actually had like potential job loss for the pandemic because of the industry, and it was like 239 and 242,000. Like the cities are so similar; they're
Yeah.
polar opposites. Just one's got like reptiles and amphibians, the other one's got like gravel and I don't know people hiking. Um, but the novelty factor is amazing,
Mm-hmm.
and the UFC gives you this opportunity of seeing the highest level of MMA, which will give you a completely different situation, development, and result.
Mm.
And again, I get to see 10, 12, 13, 14 storylines on a Saturday
Yeah.
up close. I get to be there. As long as I don't screw up and I do my job and I'm reliable, I get to come back. Um, Great to work with. The people that do what I do too, and other times when schedules match and they want other people to step in are amazing. Again, I've been welcomed by everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you get to be with these very cool people that you see why they do what they do.
Yeah.
It's just just actually to have a conversation about or like even like Megan does the NFL. So I get to talk to her. Sometimes it's about it is so cool because
Mm-hmm.
again, I grew up kind of like I don't say idolizing, but like visualizing this what it's like, and I get to be a part of it.
Yeah.
To work, of course, to work on a broadcast, and there's something special about it. Just that there's such a cool thing when I see that the show is gonna go live, and I see that what's that cool drone shot that they did at the UFC? Wasn't that cool? When they actually put the drone through at the apex, they put a drone shot through the apex, and it goes under the metal detector, and they did like in the morning, so during the week, I don't know, and
Oh.
it goes in and it goes through and it goes around the octagon, and it's so cool. Like,
Yeah.
and they really do a good job, and it's like they show a little bit of Vegas, and you pumped, um, and again, you get to travel with them if they want me to help them out in a different show, and it's so the MMA community is so cool about it too. Like everybody is happy that the event is in town.
Yeah.
They go to these events. I mean, UFCX was a pretty cool experience. I went as a fan. I went as a fan on Friday. Just wanted
Nice.
to come walk around. It was surreal that people wanted to take pictures. It was
Yeah.
just surreal. People were asking me, "Hey, do you mind taking?" Like, wait, it was just
Mhm.
insane. And then you start because
Uh,
no matter what you do,
I'm
you
not
represent.
surprised, mother effer, but you can go.
No, it's just and no matter what you do, you represent a brand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Either yours, someone else's,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
somebody like you are. I've always even thought of myself as representing the brand of a football fan,
Mm.
of a lady, of someone who speaks
Yeah.
another language, or someone who worked for Disney in the past, whatever.
Absolutely.
And when you're there, people are there not because they know me from the travel industry or they're friends with me or anything of the sort. They just see what I do for you. So you ask. The coolest thing is to talk to different people. Again, living in tourist cities and working in the travel industry, that's the spirit of going to a bar, going anywhere. There's always people from all over.
Right.
Asking them, like, is this your first UFC event? The amount of people I've met that are saying that is their first UFC event is refreshing for me.
Mm-hmm. That is very
Because
yeah.
you could have all kinds of assumptions in the world, right? You could say, oh, yeah, most of the people that come like diehards or like to the point that they go to every. No, there's so many people that are coming for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're only seeing this rocket launch
Yeah.
because this is post everything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about pent up demand. People were, they're fighting over to have the fight. There's so many locations where this could happen. we're just eager to see this live. So we don't know, and I mean, it goes for other sports. Like again, I have the experience. You don't have football for months, and then all of a sudden you have a lot of it, right? So you're like, oh my god, it's week one. It's the same thing of like a World Cup. How we feel about this year. The World Cup is going to be with games at 2 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 8 in the morning, 11, and then there's UFC, football season, whatever, at the same time. You just have this bottled up thing, like you really want to live it up. So there's so much going on, and it's so cool to watch it because people are happy when it's there. And we've had just great fights. But can you complain about the past 2 years of the UFC? Just not at all.
I really, and I've said this many times before on this channel, I think that right now we are in the golden age of mixed martial arts. You know, there's just such a parallax between quantity of fights, frequency of events, quality of fights, like stars, interest, intrigue, and the skill level, obviously. I think in every sport, the best player, for the most part, like the best player right now is probably better than the best player like 20 years ago, right? I feel like sports just, right?
Faster, stronger, smarter, more well coached. And, you know, there are stories of Brazilian soccer players having gin and tonic at halftime and smoking some. This doesn't happen anymore. I mean, people are drinking, smoothies and having avocado ice cream and going to bed at 8:30. And I still remember, I mean, this is the coolest thing when GSP talks about intermittent fasting.
Saved my life.
I do my festival out. It's so cool. It's so cool. Like, you got all these people, they're machines. They're machines. Like, we're getting, you said it's the golden age of sports, and like in the ultimate sport, the sport of fighting, in the ultimate promotion, where people go into an octagon to face each other, they have to be in top shape. And again, listen, there is no safety help over the top. If something gets thrown overhead, you don't get the benefit of a scheme when you're fighting. It's you. It is you. You don't get you don't get to take a couple of plays off. You don't get a sixth. Hey, who's the best sixth man? No, there ain't no there's no second fighter. So it's just insane because I mean they have to be in the ultimate of ships. I just appreciate when you see these people doing that.
I remember being mind blown by Tito Ortiz's training regimen back in the day, and like I still have never done a harder 6 weeks of workout in my entire life than like
and like again, and there's and to that too, the ramping up to a fight.
And
insanity. It's not just the wake up, and you're preparing for somebody is the ultimate preparation. Like you're honing in on this one person, and you have to dissect this person. There's a team, and you're like, it's like a back and forth. It's a chess game, but you can actually just beat the crap out of the pieces. It's like it's insane.
Absolutely.
It is it's fascinating actually when you get to see that. To quote this friend of mine who I got me to a lot of the technical side of MMA. The guy who's from Nordier. He said, "Have you ever been in a fight with a person for like a minute?" And you kind of go back in your life if you ever like had to go into fisticuffs with somebody for some reason, or like, you know, Brazilians, a lot of us have judo and fast or something, or any martial arts that you've done.
Right.
And then you're like, well, you ever been in a real fight with anyone? Don't forget that in Brazil, MMA was referred to as vale tudo, which means everything goes.
Interesting.
So think of this person. Think of all of us saying vale tudo our entire lives. So it means everything goes. It means when you say fighting somebody, you're not saying, he's wearing the... No. This is like people... He said, you ever been into a fight for a minute? Have you ever been into a fight with somebody for 5 minutes? And I'm like, already, I'm pretty good at trying to transport myself into moments. When somebody says something, I really like try to go from the image, the feeling, the smell, whatever it is. I'm like, okay, oh, that, and I felt tired.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
and then he said something which was pretty hilarious. He said, "Irmão, bater cansa." He said, "Brother, hitting wears you off. Like beating people gets you tired.
Yeah.
It you know, you wear off. It was hilarious when he said it. Bater cansa. Hitting people is a tiresome job."
Mm.
And you see, I'm fascinated by the fact that there are some strategies on whether it's a 3-round fight, 5-round fight, that involve you being more patient and you taking the brunt of it, or some rounds that this guy's like, okay, it's happening, and all of a sudden it's not just a switch, the flip, but that was the strategy.
Yeah.
And that again goes back to the production value. It always goes back to something that they already caught, and they're like, remember talking about the card, you remember talking about this, we're gonna talk about this, and it's just insane. Again, I get to see novelty 10 to 11 to 12 times, and just two people just going at it. Here's some quick hitting storyline.
Yeah.
It's like it's reading short stories.
Mhm.
If you like short stories, if you like quick hitting stuff, hey, people are obsessed about watching TikToks, right?
Mm-hmm. True.
Can't get any closer to the way things are in society now than watching MMA,
Yeah, it's true.
right? Right? As much as boxing is an art, it's a street science art. Like it's 12 rounds, and there's limitations. I mean, think about this. It is a TikTok of sports. So hey, welcome to a new era.
Oh my gosh, it's true. You have so-and-so person from this corner, this is their background. So-and-so person from this corner, this is their background. This is what they're experiencing in their life. And you know what? We're going to see who wins in a fist fight between the two of them. Yeah.
Also the storylines, the call-outs, the whole
Yeah.
meaning of like, okay, are they going to make it? And there's these title runs, and there's the little bit of the drama.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. MMA has been very, I think that some people really understood in the UFC. Obviously, go back to Dana himself, but I mean, some people, some fighters, some managers really understood the spirit of this.
Yeah.
They understood that there's a personality that needs to be sold as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Absolutely agree. Fabiano, my last question for you is arguably the hardest. I'm very sarcastic. Would you ever be interested in... Have you ever considered acting in a movie directed by Christopher Nolan where you play Christopher Nolan?
It's I know the reference. I understand. It's I know the reference. I understand.
We were just talking about Batman too, Michael Keaton.
Yes. It's listen. I never stop daydreaming. Never, because you never know if your daydream is going to become. And daydreams are cool because you can control them. And you're already awake. So, yes. So when I looked at the thing, I was like, listen, it's you always have to go again, corporate world, right? I've always loved the whole best case scenario, worst case scenario, weird case scenario. So I'm thinking when I saw the pictures the first time, I was like, that would be the coolest thing if I actually saw him. So like, okay, so like almost like a Tenet, but it's like
yeah,
the Translator or something like that, like big
Translator. Oh
from
my
a
goodness.
bizarro world speaks another language and starts directing bizarro Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's so hilarious that people thought I looked like, because I was like, I saw the pictures. I was like, oh wow. I don't know. I don't know what to say. When people say that you look like somebody, you hope it's gonna be like, I mean, there's a lot of Chris's out there.
There certainly are.
You think it's all right? Okay, so you got Chris Pratt was just at
True.
UFC,
Yeah.
right? Chris Evans. All right.
Chris Evans, yeah.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Hemsworth. And like,
right? Thor.
all right, cool. And they're like, yeah, Nolan is like, you're saying I'm older. Is that what
They're saying
No.
you're a master of your craft. Have
My-
you
hey,
seen Interstellar?
No, but it's funny because it's just hey, if all else fails, you can just go walk in LA.
I was gonna say.
Wearing like just the typical, directors. Like he kind of wears a lot of. He does
coffee
wear
mug.
white shirts with a black blazer, so that's kind of like my pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's
look.
yeah.
That's I could start doing that and say, do you want to be?
Yeah.
Casting people. There's like the major movie that's coming that the cast has like 100 stars. Every week there was a tweet saying that someone else is cast for another under the new Christopher Nolan.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, shout out. doing somebody that we can spook people on the set. I can start yelling.
Yeah.
People are gonna be like, "Put up a second. Is that Christopher?"
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, when he ultimately gets his own maybe HBO short series, biopic, or maybe just like a film about himself. And we could, it's Hollywood, right? It's like, oh, did you guys also know Christopher Nolan spoke like 17 languages? Incorporate that into the.
Yes. He can do it like a spy version of himself.
Yeah.
A crossover between a Nolan movie and Curb Your Enthusiasm. And see if that works. But yeah, but that was hilarious the first time I saw it.
Yeah. Are you watching The Boys? I swear this is my last question.
Oh, so I have a thing. You have to just bear with me here. I was a widow of Lost. I had to endure that, and also Game of Thrones. The death of
A widow of Lost in Game of
Thrones. Widow of Lost, and then someone that suffered through Game of Thrones in the sense that I was. Already, I thought I was immune to this whole thing just for Lost, and I
After
thought
Lost, yeah.
No, I thought I had a game plan here. So the main thing is like I like to say that, our days of 24 hours are weeks of 7 days, and roughly we have 52 weeks in a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we get one lucky extra 366 days.
Yeah.
Mine is like this. Yours is like this. No one's got 25 hours on their day. There's no 110%. If you gave 110%, that means your 100 is just maybe better than other people.
Right.
And I think that we have to use time wisely, right? And
you won't be hurt again.
Yes. So this is what happened. Lost. I knew that it was becoming a big thing, and I was like, okay, so I'm going to watch it. So after season 3, so I watched the entire thing. I binged on it. And back when we binged with DVDs, you go 1, 2, 3 season. Okay. So Lost had the 4th season, and I'm already caught up to speed like every week. All the plots are there. People are jumping off ship because of the fact that it became fringy, not to talk about fringe. But then the writer's strike came.
Yeah.
Okay. And that delayed production, and it ended up delayed. Regardless of what I don't criticize endings to finales, because that was the vision. That was the vision. I'm taking for it is. I mean, I don't want anything, man. We don't have the right to want anything.
Yeah.
It's not our team. It's like, this is not Eagles, Patriots, and Super Bowl. No, I don't want nothing. I mean, it's like, hey, man, Jon Snow is going back. Hey, that's where they're going to send him. What do you got? Oh, I want it. You don't want nothing. But
yeah, I'm along for the ride.
There you go. Exactly. And that's, it was maybe it was the friends that we made. So the Game of Thrones situation was like, okay, so there's this new thing growing. All right. I was scared. I was scarred by Mad Men too.
Interesting. I like Mad Men.
Yes, but the problem is it's so good that you feel the need to watch.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But I do not want to be. Brazilians watch soap operas, man. I do not want to be a hostage to this for how many years. So I had this thing saying, I am only watching shows, except for comedy shows. They're kind of unrelated. You watch a season, it's kind of over. I mean, think of the great classics. So, I mean, The Office, Arrested Development.
Love The Office, yeah.
I mean,
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Watch all day, just Curb.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So good.
But, I mean, these shows that have these huge character arcs, these plot points, I only watch now when I know and is announced that the next season after the one that I'm about to watch is the last one.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So that if I'm held hostage, I do not mind being in the next to last season and the last.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I had to wait through what I waited for, because of the writer's strike and Lost and Game of Thrones, because they decided to take a 1 year hiatus to
Yeah.
make 6 movies, it's like it's football season or football off season on steroids. They're like, you're telling me that for a year I don't get the show. I don't want to lose interest in the thing. I'm very passionate about stuff. I'm intense. That's what I told you. MMA, man. It's me. How can you get more intense?
Yeah.
So once it is announced, just like for Stranger Things is just the thing that listen. The music got me, all right. It kind of got it back. It was fun, all right.
Yeah.
But I knew I just had no skin in the game. If it's a show that really's got things to pay attention to, I wait until they announce. And when they announce that the last season of The Boys is going to be X, I'm right there for it.
Right. That does make a lot of sense.
It's just because there's we only have 24 hours in our day and 100% of our attention.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure that when I do it, and I love the fact that we can binge, and I do like, and again, these are shows that you see every week. That's one of the things about a platform like HBO, because of the fact that you end up watching every week, right?
Yeah, totally.
And it keeps you. So if I want to have that, just give me 1 year of it, because I can't go through. Dude, we're informed. I don't know if you had things with if you watch Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, no, I was hurt too. I'm on board.
Every week we're watching the opening to see if there's this one thing on the map that was okay. Oh, this is what they need for next week, and we have these theories. We go to these blogs, and my YouTube algorithm is just giving me this one guy after another guy after another guy, and this is the prince that was promised. Dude, listen, I can't. It's already bad enough that I listen to 8 hours of football podcasts every day. I just don't listen. That's the reason why. So the one thing I know is that it's badass, right?
Yeah.
It is amazing. And I'm just waiting for them to announce it. They were just in Brazil actually last week.
Oh, the boys crew? Whoa.
Yes. They were, and they were, treated as the stars as they are. And they went to a couple soccer games.
Wow.
I don't know how that happens, but one team actually managed to get them, 9 of them to wear the jersey of that team. Wow. Not my team, but I know, but they had fun. That's what matters. It's the experience. You have to say this about Americans and Premier League teams. How do they choose theirs? It's the same process that all of us all over the world have gone through to pick U.S. teams. I wasn't born in Philadelphia. I do have some related family, from my father's side in Northeast Philadelphia. But that's another story. That's it's unrelated. I just became an Eagles fan when I was a child because I hated the Cowboys, Washington, and those guys. But it's like you have to pick the thing. They went there, treated like stars. Everybody loved them. And actually, did you watch last season's Stranger Things?
I'm not caught up with the current season, but I've seen up to I've seen the ending of 3. I just have so much to catch back up on.
It's just that the current season
exactly
has
that
some interesting characters. Some of the actors actually are in Brazil just now. They were promoting, so just treated like stars. But I'm so happy for some of the people that are in the boys. Especially is it Carl Urban? I think one of the greatest remakes ever made was Star Trek. The new Star Trek.
The new Star Trek, Abrams,
because of the fact that the way that they did what they did to go back in time, I just thought it was genius. I just thought it was because they could, because it's Star Trek.
Yeah, totally.
So I just thought it was so cool what they did. How do you do a reboot without being a reboot? But it was insane.
Yeah. And
Carl did a great job as Doc. It was just so cool. I was happy to see them there. But next to last season, I promise.
Yeah. I'm just like you with that. I did that same thing with Breaking Bad, which was a great decision. So good. And then I'm doing the same exact thing for Breaking Bad's younger brother. I guess older brother because it's a prequel maybe, but for Better Call Saul because the last season's coming out soon, and I'm like, I need to that's like the next on my list, because I just finished The Boys and Barry season 3, but
Okay.
both of which I cannot recommend soon enough. So once they get axed, jump into them.
So yeah, the thing is, like, they're good. They leave at the top of their game, right? So it's not that they're not when they decide to step away.
Yeah, exactly.
I do dubbing. Like, I do dubbing in different languages.
Yeah,
so,
like ADR and stuff. Yeah.
I haven't had that situation, but a lot of people that do professional dubbing in Brazil is like a haven for dubbing.
Interesting.
We have probably the best dubbing in the world. Like,
Whoa.
we're talking about the greatest voice actors in the world, because
Whoa.
it's part of our culture.
Interesting.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And some people are force fed shows that they want to watch because you need to dub them. It's like, it's like me saying, oh, let's say if Contender Series was like the Ultimate Fighter, and I'm there, I'm like, hey, I watched it already. I'm sorry, I'm there. Like, so it's not because it's live. But imagine if you actually have to work on something, like, it's gonna spoil it for you. Like, hey, I've not had to do that. I have not had a part in which I actually dub something that, like, okay, this is gonna spoil for me. Especially if you do like one character and your character is like, I don't know, I get the main character. You're like, hold up a second. Here are your lines. I'm watching the entire character journey. I don't watch any of the movie. Just you dubbing the character's lines.
Right.
Because you're just doing you or other voices that you might be able to do. But you're like, okay, I just watched everything happen. Like, I've watched the entire hour and a half in about, I don't know, doing lines. So hopefully I don't get to do that. I just thought I know the situation. I know people like the Barry in Portuguese is like, they watch the whole thing.
Right. I see what you're saying now. Like, you might have to be like, and that's not like a good environment to consume a show the first time.
No,
right? Yeah, that's horrible.
No, and you ask people, like, it's interesting. Ask people that have to do this on a regular basis, do a certain thing. It's the pizza kind of thing. Like, if you're actually working with pizza, are you gonna eat? Half of the people in the world eat too much pizza because they work with pizza.
Yeah.
And the other half would say, no, I'd probably like, it would take it away. It would kind of like, it'd be hard for me to eat pizza every day. So
spoil the experience.
I know, but believe me, it is on a list, and I like to do a theme too. I think of I thought of like going to like New Mexico for a while just to watch Breaking Bad.
Oh my gosh, that's so
again the full thing. Or like go to like Jersey and watch Sopranos again. Go to Baltimore, watch The Wire. Just hey, I'm here, so I'm gonna get out and get Baltimore stuff. So I don't know. I feel like like Mad Men was crazy because I drink like a regular person, love fancy cocktails. Yeah, I don't smoke, but I'm like, Mad Men makes you wanna like. I was like, hey, it's 9:30. Don Draper's handing it. Why can't I have scotch and smoke some like a Lucky Strike because it's toasted?
It's 5 p.m. somewhere. I work in advertising. Like, we were talking about golden ages. I joined advertising far past the golden age of advertising. It's clear. I've never cracked open a bottle of cognac at 8:45 in the morning. So this is outrageous.
But I'm sure it's fun.
I'm wishing. Well, you know what? I work from home. Yeah, exactly.
When you can, I'm sure it's fun. I'm sure. It's what they say, right? You call it a scandal. Miami calls it a Monday night.
Oh my gosh. Well, I've never heard that before, but I'm definitely stealing that from you.
The other ones about Miami is that Miami's really cool because it's really close to the United States, and so that's a good one. And the last one was if you are someone, you live in New York. If you want to be someone, you live in LA. If you want to be somebody else, man.
Oh my gosh. Well, Fabiano, I truly enjoyed this conversation. You are by far and away, in my opinion, the best UFC translator that I have ever come across in my 15 years of watching the sport. And to boot, you are probably one of the most humble people that I have ever met in my entire life. Before we sign off and say goodbye to the fans, I would love to turn the conversation back over to you one last time. If you have anything to say to the fans, anything you want to express, get off your chest. If you want to promote something and, like, you know, give something a shout out, the floor is all yours. And yeah, I just want to say one last thank you on behalf of the audience.
Thank you for the high praise. It means a lot to me that you think highly of the work that I've been able to do.
Absolutely.
I'm very grateful to have the opportunity of being part of the show. Again, cannot speak enough, and I hope that I've mentioned names here and there and there and there about all these people that make this happen and bring that to fans. It is a humbling experience on its own just to be part of it. I still look around all the time to say I can't believe I'm here. But they keep asking for me, so I keep coming back.
Yeah, hey, no complaints from us.
It's a hey, so I do appreciate it. It means a lot, and I hope to continue as much as I can. And if they want me to go back to be again a means to a message and to be able to convey emotions for just fighters that are fighting not just inside the octagon, but have fought throughout their lives to be there. It is indeed the ultimate experience. So thank you so much. And I never thought I was going to be asked to actually have a conversation like this. So it's a pleasure just to be able to talk about the experience, because it's just I do want people to know how cool it is to be a part of that, and how cool the people that make it happen are. Just as to the experience, right? I think I'm very happy every time I hear that people that do something that I can only see from afar or can only dream of being a part of, they're good people, and that they're just as passionate about the people that are happy to be fans.
Yeah.
And they are. So it's been truly the ultimate experience.
Oh my gosh. Well, it has been the ultimate experience having you on the show, for sure. Extremely grateful. I know that the rest of the fans are going to be really, really happy to see this video come out. With all of this being said, everybody watching at home on YouTube, whether you're on your desktop or your mobile phone, thank you very much for watching. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Giga